Welcome to the wide world of sports. The 2023 AAU World Championships have been here all weekend, enjoying one of the best facilities in the nation. And now we've got the 14U final between Kentucky's 502 Elite taking on Florida's Tre-Man Elite. Two great sides who have fought through the tournament all weekend, and it comes for an elite finale here. I'm Taylor Storthy alongside Greg Turner, and we have got an exciting matchup. Greg, what are you the most excited about?
This is it of the summer for this team, this 14U 8th grade division. It was 65 teams. Now only 2 are standing. These guys are ready to play and bring home a world championship.
It's a big game for the players, and as a former player yourself playing at Auburn with some great players, how do you think those players are going to be feeling entering such a pivotal game?
A little nervous right now, but I know those guys will be ready to play because this is the time where champions are made. They perform in the fall and the winter, but champions are made in the summer.
Yep, and we'll take you over with some of the rosters. These are some great teams here. Kentucky's 502 Elite. Greg, I know you mentioned you had your eye on 2 of their guards, Cooper Yates and Jaquay Gabriel.
There are 2 tough, gritty guards, Cooper Yates, and also you're looking at the other Gabriel, Jaquay Gabriel. You got to keep your eye on number 11 and number 1. Those guys control the tempo for the 502 Elite.
Yep, and of course, it'll be a tough job for the Tre-Man Elite, but they've got some superstars of their own. You were mentioning Jamar Bernard and Cameron Lee, and what do you have about those guys?
22, Cameron Lee can shoot the basketball, and number 9, Jamar Bernard, much bigger basketball club than 502 Elite. So it's going to be a cat and mouse game to see how the inside interior of Tre-Man Elite will dominate the small size but tough grittiness of the 502 Elite from Kentucky.
Small ball versus tall ball. We love to see it as we're ready to go with the tip-off. That one goes up, and very quickly, the 502 Elite will capitalize and score the first bucket of the game. Their starters are Cooper Yates, Adrian Miles, Jaquay Gabriel, William Thompson, and Raquel Johnson, as the Tre-Man Elite will look to respond to get it out to the corner.
And the 502 Elite team, they've been in this 2-2-1 full court press after every made field goal. They've done it all tournament long, and it's been effective.
It's always good to run a full court press, try to really control the tempo of the game and slow the other team down. Getting inside and just missing the shot there was Grayson Jones. Good effort, but now here come the 502 Elite.
And you know, at this level where there's no shot clock right now, and it is important to control the tempo. And
a big three-pointer right there from deep. They're running a quick tempo even though they've got the control. William Thompson with the bucket there.
And it's a gritty, tough team from Kentucky. Most of the roster, they're from the Louisville area.
Louisville, a lot of basketball legends there, as Maddox Harden with a good move inside to get Tre-Man their first points of the game. 502 Elite disposing the press well. Back out wide.
And you see,
and brought inside. There's the finish. A good play there by Raquel Johnson. Kicking it out and being ready inside for the finish. 502 playing a little further up the court with a press as well. That three-pointer is on target. That is a great play out wide. The shot made by Whitfield Bino.
Tre-Man Elite is a very talented basketball club. They're going to go 8, 9 deep maybe, and 502 Elite, they don't play as many off the bench, but a very good basketball club nevertheless.
Let's go back to those 2 buckets by the 502 Elite. They've had a great start to the ball game as we take a look, kicking it out wide and draining it from deep. And Greg, what do you like about that play?
Just the penetration and the kick out, and there's the passing again with the undersized Mr. Johnson finishing inside. Tough defender, he rebounds and boards with the best. I've watched him all week long, and he's a tough rebounder for this team and scorer.
Will certainly be a tough player for the Tre-Man side to stop. There he goes, picking up a rebound outside, as there's the three-pointer made. The 502 Elite get their 10th of the ball game.
Mr. Adrian Miles, the lefty there, he's one of the forwards.
Brought inside, that's a really nice move, but can't finish the layup. And the 502 will get the board and bring it back up the court. They're fast in transition. Brought out to the corner again. He's got it. Another three-pointer, that time by Cooper Yates.
And we talked about their guards. Cooper Yates, this is a tough little group here, the 502.
A good block right there as they got it inside. They even keep it alive. Looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but it stays just in play. Brought out to the corner. A good move inside. What a great play there by Whitfield Bino to find Jamar Bernard for the lay-in.
There's the dribble and the drive and the penetration. Get inside of the defense. Whenever that happens, it's always something positive for the offense. You put that pressure on the defense.
You put the pressure and good things happen. And now looking to get some pressure inside. Kicks it back out. That three is just off target, but the 502 pick up the rebound. Brought inside the mid-range, just off target again, but the 502 Elite have been ready with the rebounds. Another one that time by Johnson, but there's a travel and Tre Mann's team will get it back. And 502, they've been good from beyond the arc. What do you think about it, Greg?
Well, you talk about being able to shoot the basketball at all levels, and that young man, Adrian Miles, a silky smooth lefty, and there's another getting the ball ahead, and there's Mr. Cooper Yates knocking down a three from the left corner.
Yep, and there's a quick timeout as the teams look it over. Those three-pointers have been the difference so far as the 502 Elite hold on to a 13-7 lead. They've also been doing good on the rebounds. And just how important are the rebounds this early in the ball game?
Well, it's important for the 502 Elite because they're the smaller team, so boxing out is going to be pivotal. As we take a look at the brain trust there for the 502 Elite, Coach Foreman, who has done an exceptional job, and then on the other end you have Victor Cardona and Thomas Bernard and Rachel Miller. So, and this is a critical point because they've played a lot of basketball. And now how do you put your substitutions in, and they're still pressing? So it's going to be key to see how it plays out here because these young men, they're young, energy, but they still get tired too after playing 4 or 5 games in a week.
Exactly, the fatigue will be something you have to take a look at as there's a miss, but once again fighting for the rebound and getting it is the 502. A good job drawing the foul that time by number 32, Raquel Johnson.
Yeah, Raquel Johnson, I talked about him being undersized, but he is just one guy that never gives up. If we take a good look at that young man right there in the 502 Elite, and he is from the Louisville, Kentucky. And that's basketball country, as you mentioned.
It certainly is.
We don't want to start naming names in that area, but I mean, Rondo, you could just start going down
legends.
the list, yes.
The second free throw misses, so unfortunately Raquel Johnson can't get anything at the line, and now a chance for Tre Mann's Elite to get back up the court. Good defense from Johnson. They'll set it inside. Pass back, and this time using the size, couldn't get the look. And a good job fighting for the rebound there.
And you just see the size difference with the Tre Mann Elite, much bigger team as we look at their whole entire roster. I mean, I watched them several times this week, and a couple of kids, they're 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". And that young man we talked about at the top of the telecast can do a lot of things for you.
The 502 Elite bringing it back. Oh, what a nice layup. Beautiful play by Cooper Yates. And that is now the 15th point for the 502 Elite. 3:35 left in the first quarter.
And there's that press. And sometimes a press is not always to steal the basketball, it's to slow you down.
And that time they will steal the ball. They're going to bring it back up. The 8-2 run stays at 8-2 as they can't convert the layup. But indeed, you had just mentioned the press. It's a good job to try to slow down and try to keep the offense in check. And sometimes
turnovers like that. Sometimes it's just not about unforced errors will happen as we take a look at nice running and Cooper Yates and the beautiful up and under, using the backboard and going to the other side.
A great play in transition. Yates having a great start to the ball game as we also see Tre Mann's Elite putting on a bit of a press here, hoping to force some turnovers, hoping to slow down the red-hot offense.
Oh, beautiful move.
Another great play inside, but this time can't convert. It was going to be a tough shot. Another tough shot, just misses, and this time Trey Man Elite with the rebound, and here they go in transition. In the paint. That's a good look and a good bucket right there from Cameron Lee.
And that's Cameron Lee, who we talked about at the top of the telecast, who is very, just a skilled performer who can put the basketball on the floor, make things happen for you.
That's going to be the goal, and let's see, that shot, no, just misses off target. Trey Man Elite back into transition, and ooh, just slipped out of his hands. Cameron Lee was looking good in transition, but just the pressure and just misplaced the dribble that time.
Again, a lot of basketball has been played, so these young men, you may see some unforced error, and that was one right there, losing the basketball on the dribble.
Even the best will sometimes mess up a dribble, mess up a pass, but hey, that's why we watch the game. Anything can happen. 5:02 Elite will have a chance to try to extend the lead. I know a minute ago they were on an 8-2 run. Both teams have scored since then, and 5:02 still hold on to a 6-point lead. Now beating the press and getting some room. A good pass out to the corner. 5:02 Elite back up top.
Trey Man Elite, they play a tough man-to-man defense, and as you can see, 5:02 Elite spreading the floor out and giving their ball handlers an opportunity to make something happen, and that's one of the toughest parts of basketball and learning defense for young guys, is being able to defend the dribble. 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 dribbles, that's tough to do. You got to stay down in your stance and move your feet.
Previous shot and missed, but getting his own rebound at that time was William Thompson. And now bringing it inside, just misses the layup. Good rebound. The shot will be off target. Raquel Johnson can't get it, and it'll go the other way.
And Raquel Johnson has to have a half a dozen rebounds already, and half of those are offensive rebound. And he's probably around 6'3", 6'4", undersized, but again, rebounding is about effort. It's about effort and never giving up.
He is giving fight on every single possession. That's why you mentioned, I believe he's probably at 5'6". Wouldn't be surprised.
No, he's about 6'4".
Oh, I wasn't saying his height. I was saying how many rebounds he had.
Oh, yes. You're
It would be even more impressive if he was 5'6" and doing that, as the three-pointers just off target. The 5:02 Elite have had 3 three-pointers so far in the ball game, but couldn't find their 4th right there.
But, you know, I can see that both teams, Taylor, are kind of, you see the substitution. We've seen a couple of substitutions in already, as you see the offensive rebound and work there by Trey Man Elite, but just can't convert on it. But here comes the 5:02 Elite.
Brought inside, and he'll go down with the foul. Just missed the opportunity, but a good job again in transition by William Thompson.
Yeah, Mr. Thompson is another one of those kind of forwards, kind of tweeners, if you will, but plays a pivotal role. This is probably one of the well-coached teams that I've seen this week, but we've seen some talented basketball this whole weekend. But this team right here, they've played together, and it shows, Taylor, that they're here in the finals of the World Championships for the 14U 8th grade AAU World Championships.
It takes a great mix of individual talent and great team chemistry to make it this far against, as you mentioned, 65 incredible teams that are here at the Wide World of Sports. And William Thompson gets set to see if he can go 2 for 2 from the arc.
And you know, everybody's talented, and there's another rebound by Raquel Johnson, but it got knocked down, but no call.
And there's a good drive on the transition by Cameron Lee.
They had the numbers, took advantage of it. But
from 3, and ooh, just off target, but again with the rebound and the putback as he's fouled. Raquel Johnson in the right position again, and he'll go back to the line.
And that young man has just been omnipresent, you know. I mean, he's just a tough competitor, and I've watched him game in and game out, and we talked about them, their teamwork and how they play together. It may be a bit cliche as Taylor, but sometimes it's not about biology, but it's more about chemistry, and these guys have played well together this tournament.
That's certainly the science of winning. As Raquel misses the first free throw, let's see if he can bring the Elite back up to 6 here. 43.2 to go. The clock will run after this shot, and he makes it. Wouldn't be surprised if Johnson finishes with a double-double potentially by the time this game has wrapped up.
Indeed, but maybe before the half.
Maybe. Now brought out wide for three, just off target. And once again, the 502 Elite on the rebound.
Yeah.
They're the smaller team, but doing better on the boards.
Controlling the boards, one shot. They've given up maybe 1 or 2 offensive rebounds, but not many.
And that has been key for their success. Brought it inside, and that time it'll be a rebound by number 23, Gage Gentry. 13 seconds to go. This may be the last possession for Tre Mann Elite. Here's the three, and they got it. A great look from the outside that time by Maddox Harden. And as time expires, that shot is off target.
Maddox Harden showing you his range, a big guy. He's about 6'6", 8th grader going into the 9th grade, showing you that he can step out and a nice cross-court pass, a skip pass we call it. He lined it up, knocked it down. Mr. Maddox.
You love it when a player can give you height and great range.
Maddox Harden. So do you think that number 13 is not coincidence, James Harden? A lefty, but
shares the number, shares the last name, shares
go.
the skills. Although he probably will be a little taller than James is by the time he finishes, because again, he's only 14 and he's already 6'6".
Perhaps, as the coaches are going over what needs to be done in the second quarter. The 502 Elite, I think they like the way things are going. I think they like the tempo of this basketball game, and I know the Tre Mann Elite, they want to push it a little more. But if you don't rebound, you can't push the basketball. And we know that the 502 Elite, they have been offensive rebounding the basketball, and that's one of the best offensive plays you can run, Taylor. Go get it and put it back.
Indeed, and I know Gregory Foreman's got to be ecstatic that his guys are doing so well on the board so far. Despite the height disadvantage, they're playing with so much effort and drive, and certainly the same as we take a look at Victor Cardona here with the Tre Mann Elite. And they have started to come back. They've got a little hotter on offense. We saw that Harden three-pointer to close out the first quarter as the first shot of the second quarter is missed, and we'll go to the line for more 502 Elite free throws.
We're playing with high school federation rules, so 8-minute quarters, and if you turn your head a minute, the game will be over, right? So you have to not let the game get out of control, and for 1 minute of the game, it looks as if 502 Elite, they were going to kind of push a lead out, and Tre Mann Elite came back, and they're right back in this basketball game.
Yeah, and even though there's still plenty of time to go for the second half, you'll have 16 more minutes to play. You want to keep it close early. You want to make sure you don't have to do too much work as the game continues. And by the way, right there, William Thompson knocking down both free throws to extend the lead to 5. Bringing it back up is Kennedy. He will send it back out wide to Cameron Lee.
And there's that press. They're going back into like a 3-2 zone defense. Oh, there's a foul there.
Yeah, that's where you jump a little too early expecting the block, and the news is they're both okay. And
that foul will be on Gabriel, who is probably one of the most athletic guys on that team, and Jaquay Gabriel, and he just stay down. That's one of those cardinal rules. You don't want to jump.
Yeah, you need to only jump when they're making the shot, like they just did right there, 19-16. Good vision to find the pass up court. And that is where the press can sometimes backfire, but good job to get back on defense, I believe. Maddox Harden disrupting the play. Back out to the corner. Ooh, almost had a chance to tie the game, but they'll get the rebound off the tip. And that was a travel.
Yeah, steps. A nice transition there where 502 Elite were able to push the ball out, but good defense there by Tre Mann Elite, getting back, making the block, some contact, but officials have been letting them play.
They weren't caught off guard completely, and that's what's important when the press is beaten. You have to get back in position.
Nice give and go there.
Great play inside, and scoring again is Cooper Yates. And Lee will have it back out wide.
And Johnson's doing a little of everything, not only the rebounding, but the nice passing, and not a big score.
But it'll certainly help as it's brought back inside, and Harden will bring it back to a 3-point ball game, 21-18.
And just the size. You saw the size advantage there. Just taking it inside, and Harden, no one to contest it.
And that time the rebound goes out, and it'll go the other way. Let's head back to that last bucket with that size advantage.
Yeah, you're throwing it inside, and there he is. He's just between two small opponents. Just takes a nice saddle dribble and puts it right in. So no one to contest that shot on this 502 Elite team. So if you're Tre Mann Elite, you may want to start just feeding the post a little more.
That's exactly why, as you'll see 502 Elite, I bet, try to guard him even more closely now. Currently, Tre Mann Elite have it out wide. A double team there. Pass it over to Harden. He's got the size inside. Another double team to kick it back out.
Just look at the defense of 502 Elite. That everybody's on a string, moving their feet, contesting every shot.
And that shot was contested at the very end. A good effort from Grayson Jones, but just couldn't get it in the bucket. And there's the three from the 502. No, the rebound picked up again.
Beautiful.
A beautiful pass.
Roquel Johnson rebounded it and throwing it into Mr. Miles, the lefty.
A pass and grab from Roquel Johnson. Another great play as it's sent back out wide for the Tre Mann Elite. But the three-pointer isn't open just yet.
He's leading the team, Roquel Johnson, in rebounding, probably an assist as well from his forward position. He's not a center.
Here's the three-pointer, and that one's good. 3-21 with 5:30 to go. That was a great play right there, but again in the transition. Just missed the quick layup inside, but the 502 Elite have done a great job of countering that press. And now the game is tied thanks to the good play once again by Maddox Harden.
Nice pass there, running the floor and getting the cutter.
That pass just misses inside, and it'll go the other way. And Tre Mann, let's take a look right here.
And that's the
502 Elite.
Offensive rebounder, but look at the transition. A nice give and go, and the big fella Harden running the floor. You got to reward the big fella.
Exactly.
If he's running 94 feet, you got to give it to him.
Yep, and with those plays we just saw from Tre Mann Elite, it is now a tied ball game. Can they take the lead? No, just misses the shot, and the rebound falls back to 502. And so far, Tre Mann Elite have been on a great run, 16-8 since back in the first quarter. To claw back from an 8-point deficit to bring it level right here.
And Roquel Johnson, 10 rebounds, double-figure rebounds already. And that's how they have, that's how they've had the lead most of the game, and because they've been out rebounding Tre Mann Elite 18-8.
And thanks to their rebounds, they're back in position with a big three-pointer to retake the lead. It's 26-23 for the 502 Elite. Out wide to Harden. He's got a size advantage.
Yeah.
It's a disadvantage for the 5 Elite. Back up top.
Harden has been the guy that has been able to score the ball for the Tre Mann Elite. So there he is.
Here's the three-pointer, just off target, but packed up again inside, and now quickly all the way down for three.
Cooper Yates.
And there it is. The lead is back to 6. Cooper Yates with the finish on the play that started by once again another Roquel Johnson rebound.
And Cooper Yates showing you his range, and we talked again about those two guys, Yates
for three.
and
This
Gabriel.
time just misses, but he gets his rebound. And another rebound. This time it's put in by the number 9, Jamar Bernard. Good position to be there for the second miss.
And you see the pressure there from Tre Mann Elite trying to kind of speed the pace up of the game by pressing man-to-man full court.
It certainly feels so. Despite the pressure, the 502 have continually found the open players for good opportunities. However, they haven't converted all of them. They've converted enough to hold on to a 4-point lead. It may grow a little bit more here. Pass it out wide again.
This would be a good opportunity to just run your set here and see if you can get something good. And yeah, you don't have to rush here. There's no shot clock.
Have it inside. Oh, a big block that time. And Tre Mann Elite with it again.
You see the size difference.
In possession for three, and he's got it.
That young man, Mr. Jaden Kennedy.
A great look and a great shot to bring the game within one. 2:30 to go in the half. And now the 502 Elite will have it back up top. Good job to hold on to the ball to bring it inside. A good reaction on the interception as the 502 Elite were looking for the man open in the corner. And now Tre Mann's the lead for the lead. Just off target. Gets his own rebound after the tip. And Tre Mann Elite in the lead for the first time today.
Now you can see the size advantage kind of taking over here and some of the mishandling of the basketball by the smaller 502 team. And
Now back out wide again, a wide open shot. Just misses, but yet another rebound, and the putback is good. The 502 Elite.
By who else? Mr. Raquel Johnson.
Who else indeed? And it looks like we'll get a quick breather, a couple subs and a timeout with 1:48 to go in the half. But another great play to get the rebound, and this time he puts it back up himself.
Yeoman's work. Yeoman's work for that young man. He's getting close to 15 rebounds in this first half, which is phenomenal.
And he has about 2 minutes to go to reach that tally. The Tre-Man Elite bring it back up the court. And as we're taking a look, the play slowing down, you can definitely see the 3-2 set that 502 have been running on defense. As there's an open three, just off target, and this time Cooper Yates with the board.
Here's the push by
For
Gabriel.
three, and he's got it. The 502 Elite have got the 4-point lead off another three-pointer. They have been deadly from the arc today.
That was because of the push up the floor by Gabriel, pushing the ball up and finding an open teammate who's already set, who would run to a spot, found him, knocked it down. So take a look at Jason, the nice no look and the nice pass off, and Thompson, when he getting those feet square and set, he knocked it down.
Indeed, they found the open man, and their players have done a great job from beyond the arc. And good defense, but it will stay with Tre-Man here. 63 seconds to go.
And Coach Cardona has been substituting a little more than the 502 Elite, and you see that it looks like some fatigue is setting in, and he's been playing mostly with the same lineup, maybe 1 or 2 changes, but not many. So you're gonna have to do a little more substituting, I think, in this second half.
Agreed, as there's the pass inside, a good deflection by Cameron Lee covering it. And as you were mentioning, Greg, I think you'll definitely see more substitutions from the 502 Elite. And I like the Tre-Man Elite side, making more substitutions. You mentioned they've got a deeper roster.
Yes.
It gives more energy for their starters when you get to the final clutch minutes of the game. When we get to the fourth quarter and everyone's running low on energy, they'll have that extra little boost they may need to come clutch late. Shot in the foul, can't get the and one, but a good effort to work his way inside and draw contact.
But there's one thing about effort, but size you just can't replace. I mean, even though you may get tired, you don't get any shorter.
Right.
So the Tre-Man Elite is a much bigger basketball club, but this young man, Raquel Johnson, has just had a whale of a tournament, not to mention this game here in this first half of this championship.
Having a tournament's great on its own, but as we've seen, an incredible championship game, as he'll make the second free throw as well. The 502 Elite back up by 4 with 30 seconds to play. We'll see if the Tre-Man Elite will go quickly here or use this as the last possession. They won't because it's intercepted. A good layup on the fast break. Yates can't make the shot. Now for three. Cooper Yates just off target, and Tre-Man Elite back up the court in transition. Lee inside, and he'll make it.
Nice move by Lee, being able to kind of hide the basketball, hang it in the air to make that shot.
The shot at the buzzer, just off target. And the 502 Elite will hold on to a 2-point lead as we enter the break. And we'll be headed to commercial. What a first half. We'll be right back right after this.
There's a lot of history to cover here, Peyton, and the shot clock's running.
It says here you might want to try New Jersey. All roads lead to Trenton.
Roads. Where basketball's going, we don't need roads. The game is played in the air.
Vince Carter soaring through the air.
This is what basketball used to look like back then. It's in a cage like this. This is the first basketball. The 1985 draft. First selection goes to...
Yes! Someone called for a doctor?
You're right on time.
The great Dr. J.
Line it up and let it go.
There it is.
Yes!
Yes!
I thought your yes was excellent.
Wow. The human highlight film in the flesh. Dikembe, this is some block party you have here, my friend.
No, no, no! Not in Miles!
The biggest, baddest shark in the world. I'm gonna try to pitch him.
All right, Mr. Carter, how do we make the NBA must-see TV?
Welcome back to the wide world of sports. In the gym, we've had an incredible first half for the 14U championship between the 502 and Treman Elite. Yates has had a great first half, not only inside, but outside too. This was the opening bucket of the game. And Greg, what have you liked from the young man
He's
so far?
been all over the basketball floor. I mean, he's the catalyst. He runs the team, he and Gabriel, but he has scored the basketball when he's had to. And he's a small and diminutive, but he has been tough here this afternoon. Scoring all over the floor, inside, outside, knocking down threes. Cooper Yates.
And then, of course, we've also seen some great play from the Treman Elite, Maddox Harden. We've made the James Harden comparisons. Good from outside and inside,
Yeah,
Greg.
Mr. Harden is a big young man, about 6'6", who can put it on the floor. He can dribble, and you showed him scoring here, moving without the basketball. You see him at the high post and putting it on the floor. Much smaller team. He has done exactly what he's needed to do. Look at him running the floor. He's being rewarded by his teammate with a nice assist. Looking at Mr. Maddox Harden.
Yeah, he's had a great game, and certainly someone we'll have to keep an eye on with the second half. But of course, I'd say the player of the game that we've both had our eye on for the entire time, Raquel Johnson, and man, he has been a monster on the boards. Incredible job. Inside, outside, he's been everywhere the ball has been.
He has been. I think he has been the guy that has held his team in the position that they're in now, because a lot of the scoring has been putbacks. And he's gotten offensive rebounds, kicked them out to teammates, and he scored as well. He's been fouled. He puts a lot of pressure. You have to box that young man out, and he has close to 15 rebounds first half. That is pretty good at this level, playing only 16 minutes.
Yeah, 16-minute half to get 15 rebounds. That's crazy. That's a number that's
Dennis
good for
Rodman.
NBA when you're playing the full
Yes,
30.
Dennis Rodman numbers right there.
Indeed, and hopefully he can keep up that rate in the second half. Surely the 502 Elite will be hoping for that too, as they barely hold on to a lead, 36-34. And while they've been the slightly better team, you certainly can't count the Treman Elite side out, as Harden, I think, will take a few minutes for a breather on the bench, just so he's fully ready to go. As we're back in the gym and set to continue, third quarter and second half about to get underway.
It's going to come down to deeper rosters and what coach manages their roster better than the other, because we looked at the Treman Elite team, and you see right now, you see another young man, Grayson Jones, is in the game with the big afro there. I mean, he didn't play much, if he played any in the first half, and of course number 23 for Treman Elite in the black.
I saw him have a few minutes at the end, but again, he's going to start here. He gets the rebound immediately, but he can't put it back up. Good defense, and a play by Johnson, and he'll draw the foul in transition.
Raquel Johnson is just a man's young man. I mean, he's playing all over the floor. Look at him. We talked about his rebounding effort, but look at that one-hand block, and able to retain the basketball and push it up the floor.
Yeah.
And that is a clean block. If anybody fouled, it was probably number 3 at Adrian Miles, but no call for the officials. Just play on.
Yep, and that's what you have to do, play on until you hear the whistle. And the 502 Elite have it at the top of the key once again. 7:20 to go as we are in the opening minute of the second half.
And you can just think, Taylor, that Coach Foreman probably said, let's be a little more judicious offensively. We don't have to push the basketball up the floor and turn the basketball over against a bigger team like this. Let's see what we can do. Let's run when we have to. Let's make our 2-2-1 press on made free throws and made field goals. And let's play from there.
Bought inside.
5 seconds, yeah.
And a shot.
Couldn't quite get it in.
Yeah. It was a good attempt, but just too long to get it in. A little too slow to develop. Good job by the Treman Elite to be in the right positions to deny the pass. 502 Elite have been locked down on defense. They have been pretty much everywhere. We've already talked about the efforts from Raquel Johnson, but the rest of the team has only allowed a few good open opportunities. But still, Treman Elite have found a way to find the basket like this. A nice dribble inside, and we're back tied.
Yeah, I mean, that 3-2 zone is not designed for someone to dribble through it like that. But again, I think some fatigueness has set in, and you're maybe not covering that position the way you're supposed to.
As a 502 Elite will have it up top. The man-to-man, it's a little bit simpler for positioning, but also it can be tougher with a lot of fluid movement. But with the extra energy, that should benefit the Treman Elite. Brian inside, kicking it back out. Three-pointer just off target. Fighting for the rebound. Good play by Harden.
And a little push off there by Harden.
And now in transition, Tre Mann Elite get the bucket and the lead. Back in transition, the 502 Elite can't respond from three. And now there's something else coming for the Tre Mann Elite. Inside for Lee, and he gets the layup.
And Coach Foreman may want to use a timeout here if they score again, because this is the Tre Mann Elite pace, Taylor. This is what they want to do, push the basketball up the floor. And, you know, they've made it easy for Tre Mann defensively, too. Nobody's moving. Again, fatigueness. Now here's a set play here for 502 Elite. Let's see if they can get something off of this set.
Thompson open off the screen, but he can't get the shot inside. He does draw the foul, though. And he'll head to the line for two. Try to cut it into this now 4-point lead from Tre Mann off of these plays right here.
Yeah, pushing the ball up and ill-advised shots there from the outside by 502 Elite leads to just this, fast break points.
Here's the play inside. He goes down, but no foul, and it's going to be Tre Mann Elite back with possession. Right out wide for three. Off the backboard, Harden with the rebound. Back out wide again for three. This time he gets it. A great shot by Grayson Jones, and Tre Mann Elite up by 7. And now I think we'll see the timeout from the 502 Elite.
Indeed, almost maybe a few minutes, a few seconds too late.
Yeah.
It only takes a couple of shots, you know, a couple of threes, and now look, you're down 7. Down 7 points just like that. But let's take a look at what happened. The offensive rebound, inside out, and boom, there's Grayson to knock it down. Grayson Jones.
Great play by Harden to use his height, and then he finds the open man for the three to put Tre Mann Elite on an 11-0 run. They have been really strong to start in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. We've got 5:16 to play, and I bet we'll see a few of those substitutions for the 502 Elite. See if the men off the bench can get to work to cut this deficit.
Not as deep as the Tre Mann Elite, but Tre Mann Elite from top to bottom, probably a little more talent, but you're going to have to be able to not turn the basketball over and give them those free fast break points.
Right.
That's why they're down 7 right now. The ill-advised shot.
They got to find the good chances and find a way back into the game. They also have to find a way to force the errors from the Tre Mann Elite that they had in the first half and that they've been avoiding here in the second half. Another costly turnover brought inside, and that is a very easy layup. That time scored by Bernard. Brought out wide. Here's an open look. Mid-range shot, and Johnson gets it to go.
Roquel Johnson continues to play well, and he and Yates are the few guys for the 502 Elite who have showed up this afternoon.
And this time it's going to be the 502 Elite forcing a turnover. A good dribble move into the pass. The layup just off target.
A lot of contact, no foul.
They get it back off the rebound. There was a cluster in the paint. And again, still a frenzy inside. And now Tre Mann Elite will get the foul in their favor.
And that's a
the other
frustration.
way.
That's a frustration foul. Frustration foul, not being able to get the bucket, but here it is. Points off of turnover. There's the push, Kennedy, and there's the big fella, Bernard, finishing the play. You like to see your bigs running the floor.
You certainly do. It's great because when they come inside, you can't really stop them. Tre Mann Elite bring it back up.
You want to reward your guys, your big guys. You know, they go from baseline to baseline. Guards, they go from top of the key to top of the key. So you want to, the big guys are running, you want to reward them.
Sent out wide, the open look, just off target. And now the 502 Elite back on the break. The layup is good.
Nice layup there by Mr. Adrian Miles. He's a lefty. Put it up nice and soft. That was a difficult shot.
Certainly was.
He jumped a little further out than I thought he was going to take maybe one more dribble.
But he made it happen, and that's all that really matters. Sent out wide for Tre Mann, and good ball movement to get the look inside. And that is another bucket to put them up by 7.
Again, you see the length and you see the height of the Tre Mann Elite.
Brought out wide, looked for the open three, brings it inside, and the layup just off target. Not a bad look from Adrian Miles. And now back in possession.
Oh, another good block by Roquel. That young man certainly has given his effort.
For sure. Even with their losing, I'd say he's probably been the player of the game for either team.
If you had to pick one right now,
It'd probably be him.
it probably would be, even in a losing effort, but there's still time left. We're in that third quarter.
He loses the ball, though, and now we've got 3-on-1. A few more numbers coming back on the break. They're not back in time, but now they're back to get the rebound off the miss.
And that's a fatigue miss. A lot of
three.
basketball.
That may be another fatigue miss. Good job to keep it in play, though, by Adrian Miles. However, it's in play back to Tre Mann Elite. They bring it inside. Yates back out to Harden. Sorry. Jones back out to Harden. And now Harden's back up top.
See if they can get something set. They run a lot of high post action, and you see Harden right at the free throw line and throw it inside. Maybe he can throw it to one of the wings on a cut. Here it is, and he can operate from that area on the basketball floor.
Sent out again to the corner. And again, good pressure by Yates up top. Good movement inside. That is a great steal by Johnson. And now on the break, the good pump fake and layup.
Nice conversion, and a nice steal, and being able to convert points off of turnovers. Huge stat in any basketball game, Taylor.
And the 502 Elite had a lot of those in the first half, and now they're getting back on track in the second half. Yet another rebound by Johnson, and the 502 Elite, they bring it back up. A good pass inside, but just can't keep on it. Unfortunate error from Gabriel Byrne.
Unforced error there, but take a look at Johnson just everywhere. The nice steal, the pass ahead to Yates, and Yates to Miles. Nice pump fake, and the lefty gets it to go down, Taylor. That's what you want to be able to convert off of those turnovers.
Great composure in the paint as we get a timeout with 1:34 to go. And certainly things have gone the way of Tre Mann. The 502 Elite, I think, have finally got the gears moving again. The fatigue may be wearing off for the moment. And obviously, even though they're going to be fatigued, that's going to play less of an effort. It's going to be all emotion and all heart once you get to the fourth quarter.
Well, basketball is a game of ebbs and flows, and, you know, teams are going to make runs. And, you know, as long as you keep the basketball game close, and that's in the first half, it looks as if 502 Elite was going to kind of push the lead and, you know, kind of not run away with the game, but be in control. But now, look, I mean, Tre Mann Elite took control, went on that 11-0 run, and now they have taken the lead. But 502 Elite, they're not dead. They're here. And this is a gritty basketball club, and they've shown you why they've earned their way to these 14U 8th grade AAU World Championship finals.
It certainly takes a lot of heart, a lot of effort, and teams that may not necessarily be the tallest, but ones who work the hardest can be the scariest in any given matchup.
Exactly. We both of us, I know we're looking at each other. We don't want to go into this bag of cliches, but the skill sometimes, you know, sometimes the will overcomes the skill. And this is a team here that if you look at them top to bottom, not as talented as Tre Mann Elite, but yet they're here in the championship.
The 502 Elite have it outside. An open look, Johnson for three. He's got it.
And Johnson is saying, hey, what's the record in here for double-doubles? I may have a triple-double. I'm hitting triples, I'm assisting, I'm blocking shots. He has to have two or three block shots. 15 rebounds,
the assist triple-double for sure.
Yeah.
Now the open look from Tre Mann. He's got it.
That young man can stroke the basketball, man. Grayson Jones.
Yep, 1-3, and then responds with another. Back to a 5-point lead. Sent out wide again. It was almost going to be 3 3-pointers in a row. But that time, just off target. Let's take a look first at this Johnson 3-pointer. He sets up at the top and he says, hey, don't mind if I do.
You don't respect me, I'm going to knock down this three. And we'll take another look at it here. Grayson Jones said, hey, I can do the same on this other end.
That's a bit of a anything you can do, I can do better. He's open on three again. But there was a foul beforehand, so.
And we have to remind our viewers this. You're not looking at college basketball. You're looking at 14-year-olds and 13, 14-year-olds, and maybe a couple of 15-year-olds. But these are young men who will be in their first year of high school this fall. So it's a talented group of athletes that we're looking at right here. That's why I like this age group, that 14-year 8th grade tail. I mean, they're coachable young men. You know, they don't know it all just yet, but yet they're so talented and they want to learn more. and eager to learn. So I like this age group, and that's probably why we have them featured here on ESPN3.
I certainly think so too. And again, even though these players, they haven't even played high school basketball yet, they're already showcasing that they can hang with some of their older peers next season.
Yes.
And I know if any of their coaches back home in Kentucky or Florida are watching, they should be rubbing their hands, enjoying the action they've seen so far and planning what they're going to be able to do come this fall and winter.
And on a stage like this, playing in still one of the marquee facilities in the country, ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex.
Being able to go to Disney World and light up the stage, that's a dream for any kid. Now the 502 Elite have it back outside, brought inside by Johnson, and ooh, just slips out of his hand.
Look at the hustle.
But look at the fight, yes, indeed.
And it may be a kickball. I think the official's going to
I think that's the right way. It did go off his foot when he initially lost it. Actually, kicked off Trey Mann player.
Yes.
But also I think it did go off the Trey Mann player foot as well. And a quick inbound. And they'll score.
And the officials are like, hey, but
slow down.
Yeah, but I mean, 502 Elite said, hey, he gave me the basketball, and they're going to talk about it. And obviously, look at 502 Elite, they're like, hey, man, the official gave him the basketball.
Unfortunately for 502 Elite, it won't be ruled a basket, but I do say I love the idea to just be really heads up once they get the ball to make the quick pass.
I think the officials were conversing here. May have been a substitution about to happen, so they weren't set, so that basket will not count. And just only a 5-point lead, Taylor, for the Trey Mann Elite. I don't see anybody over there winded, it looks like, as we take a look at the...
Yeah, and coming up next, we'll have the Delaware Certified Hoopers and the Ohio Rebels for the U17 Championship, the other featured event here at the Wide World of Sports. I believe you may see one of those semifinals being played in the background of this game too, but that'll be an exciting showdown.
Yes, it will. This will be the big boys. These guys are going into their senior years in high school, the AAU 17U/11th grade, so you're going to see some talented basketball in another few minutes.
And certainly some players that colleges will want to have their eyes on throughout this upcoming season.
Indeed, indeed. We had quite a few teams here this week. These AAU World Championships have included the 14Us, 15Us, 16, and 17s. And quite a few teams from that Mid-Atlantic in that area, that Philly, Delaware, and then we have one in the finals.
Definitely not a surprise when you see a lot of teams from a pretty strong region that at least one of them, you can make a guess, will go all the way. Good play inside, and this time another point for Johnson. Surely he's got the double-double now.
There's RJ, Mr. Roquel Johnson.
Pass now wide again for the Trey Mann Elite, out to the corner. And good vision to find the man up top, and slowing it down will be Bino. We are set now with the fourth quarter. The end of the third quarter had actually happened on one of those previous plays.
Well, Taylor, we got from our stats crew that last inbound play was 0.2 seconds left.
There wasn't enough time for the shot.
Not enough time for the shot. It's got to be a tip
Here's for
in,
three.
if you will. So that's why it was no basket.
Just off target, and it goes out. Which way? It'll be to the 502 Elite.
And Jamal Bernard, he wanted to touch it.
They wanted to touch it, but
yep. Was it off my teammate or not? He should have tried to save it, but
it's tough to make those split-second reads.
You're right.
I haven't played higher than the middle school level for basketball, but remembering from my days as a player, the shot is going to just miss for out of bounds, despite the effort from RJ's we've talked about. However, it'll go the other way for Trey Mann. But yeah, certainly so many split-second decisions. You're thinking, did it do this? Did it do that?
Yeah. And each level that you go to, that game goes to another level. The speed, the quickness. You have to be able to think the basketball game as well. So it is a next level, if you will. And that was an air ball by Henry Howard, who's a pretty good shooter. Just couldn't get that to go down.
A good pass inside and utilizing the height to get some open space. That time on the bucket, Bernard. 502, quick transition inside. Beautiful layup.
And this is the young man that we talked about at the top of the telecast, number 11, Gabriel, Jaquay Gabriel. And offensively, He hasn't done that this afternoon, but there's a nice skip hop there, and the up and under. And he converts the three-point play the hard way. But that young man, offensively, he has been the catalyst for this team in a lot of their games. But this afternoon, not so. But maybe he can turn it on. He has about 6 minutes left to. He has his team right there with that three-point play, right back in the basketball game.
You get a chance to save the best for last. Now for three, Tremaine Elite just off target, but a good job there by Kennedy on the rebound. Brings it inside. Misses the mid-range after 2 bounces. Yates on the board, bringing it back up again, fast in transition, draws the foul, and he'll go back to the line. He can bring it within 1.
And Taylor, that's what Gabriel does best, man, taking it at the defense, and he's a very good leaper, despite his height. You know, maybe not 6 foot, maybe right at 6 foot, but that young man is quite a leaper, and he can hang in the air, take that contact. At this age, that's advanced.
For sure, and especially he's going to have to get used to more contact at the high school level for players that may be larger and older than him. But if he's able to do what we've been seeing today, I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, this is basketball country where they're from, Louisville, so they take pride in that basketball, and you can see it right here. This team, again, in the World Championships at this 14U 8th grade division.
Back out wide for 3, just off target. And once again, Tremaine in position for the rebound. That time the rebound was Cameron Lee. He's had a pretty solid game as well.
He has. He's started off kind of hitting a couple of buckets, then went to the bench, been quiet.
And now he's back and he's ready to make an impact.
Nice
Good pass inside. And a nice pump fake to get the bucket. Jamar Bernard using his height and the aggression from the 502 Elite to open the window.
Beautiful foot movement. Nice pump fake and the step through.
Now for 3, just off target. I'm not sure if that would have tied it. I believe it is 54-51. I thought it was 49 entering the free throws where they went 1 for 1.
That was a tough shot there. I mean, maybe you could have gotten a better look at the basket. I mean, you're only down 3 here. You don't have to panic and just jack up a shot. There's not a shot clock, you know, so you don't have to shoot it right away.
Yeah, you can certainly take some time being in the lead by 3. And we'll have to see what the call is there. It's going the other way, it looks like.
Yeah. It looks like a ward off, or kind of a push off there. And that's the pesky defense of 502. We take a look at it here. Yeah, see that?
Yeah, in the paint we see.
Yeah, that little jockeying for position. Yep. If you have your elbows down, young people, if you're playing in the post, you got to keep your elbows up when you're posted up in your hands where officials can see your hands. If you got them below your waist, now that's more in the area of kind of warding off or elbowing. So jockeying for position, that will be called.
Now we'll go again the other way for Tremaine Elite to regain possession. 2 turnovers in a row for both teams. 502 can't capitalize off that aggression in the paint.
Whitfield Bino has been number 11. He's setting his teammates up a couple of baskets. And you see, you really want to put the basketball in the hands of Mr. Cameron Lee.
Lee back out to Harden.
Or that young man.
Harden's another good option as well. And he'll send it back over to Bino. Good screen from Harden. As he cut inside, they were looking back outside. Lee inside with contested, but he doesn't matter. Well, he doesn't care. He makes the shot.
Nice use of the dribble, but it was Bino getting inside the teeth of the defense and making that pass out. And Lee making a couple of bounces to make something happen and get closer. He didn't settle for that 3, Taylor. Just get to the basket.
But sometimes the 2 points can give you a little bit more than risking it for 3.
Better percentage. A better percentage shot.
Especially
I know
with
the game has changed, I know, but I still like those high percentage shots if you can get them.
Tremaine Elite will have 3 minutes to go with a 5-point lead. They can continue to drain the clock a little bit.
A little 2-man game with the high pick and roll here. Isolation, ISO game on the left wing for them, and this guy can take it to the basket. Nice pass.
Sent inside, and good effort on defense, although there is a foul on the play. So you have to give some credit there. Adrian Miles doing a great job of guarding Harden to the point where he didn't get the ball inside despite the height mismatch.
Well, we talked about them being the shorter club here coming into this game, and we knew that they would stay in the basketball game just because of their grit and competitiveness. But, you know, Trey Mann, they've kind of, you know, not really forced the issue to try to get it inside. And I think they could have done that maybe much earlier, and maybe a bigger lead they would have right now, or at least get the 502 Elite in foul trouble.
At 502 Elite may be entering foul trouble soon, and they may have to as the lead is expanded to 8 off those 2 made free throws from the Trey Mann Elite. They bring it inside, and that is a tricky layup, but they do draw the foul, and going to the line this time will be William Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson is showing you his versatility. He's been able to knock down a couple of shots, drive the basketball, and make a reverse attempt right there. And the good thing about that is, Taylor, that it stopped the clock. It gives them an opportunity for 2 free throws and to set up their press.
And that is something I think the 502 Elite will have to get back working here, because it hasn't been working as well throughout the second half. It could be fatigue getting in the way, but also them maybe slowing down and saving some energy now for crunch time with about 2:30 to go after this final shot is taken from Thompson.
Well, it's hard to set up your press when you don't score, or, you know, when that team, so you don't have an opportunity. But here it is, they've elected to kind of go, they're the straight man-to-man here. And that's one thing, Trey Mann Elite, they have some guys that can put it on the floor and make something happen. And you see him high man pick and roll here.
Trying to get the mismatch for Harden. Lee kicks it back out. Nothing was open. A good movement up top. And good effort. Steal by Yates.
Great defense. The spacing not the best for Trey Mann Elite.
And spacing's always key to make sure you have enough space to work and also to get open. Johnson with the screen, but not used by Thompson. Sends it back out wide. Thompson inside.
Got to think about.
Brought inside by Miles. He's going to send it over to Thompson again. Oh, just a costly pass right there.
One of the few mistakes that Raquel Johnson has made, but now you got to think about maybe fouling here because it's getting close in time. 1.5 minutes left. You're down 5. Remember, unless you're going to get a 5-second call, there's no shot clock at this level of basketball playing. Here's the double.
And a good job just to hold on to it by Cameron Lee and avoid the double team. Trying to force a turnover. Did 502 get it? I don't think so.
Not quite, but good hustle. Good sportsmanship there as Bernard helping up the 502 Elite. You like to see that, man. It's in basketball, especially.
I mean, a championship, a 5-point deficit this late. It's easy for tempers and emotions to get the better of players, but really composed and, again, showing what the most important attribute, I think, for any player's mentality. Great sportsmanship, indeed.
As we take a look at here, a 5-point deficit, Taylor. So, you know, one, you got to get the basketball if you're 502 Elite. If you don't get it this inbound play here with maybe trying to get a steal, you have to think about fouling one of their players. And probably if you look at who's on the floor for them, Bino hasn't gone to the free throw lines. Probably a pretty good shooter. All of them are pretty good shooters.
And not to be.
But you got to make a decision.
Exactly.
Right away.
And by the way, coming up next, we've got the U17 championships at 4:45 between the Delaware Certified Hoopers and the Ohio Rebels. So make sure you stick around if you want to see some more great AAU action.
It promises to be a barn burner because Ohio Rebels, they won the 16U Nationals last year. And Coach Ferguson said he was going to retire, but he is back. So let's see if he can win the 17U World Championship.
See if they can do the double. And now you got a foul with only about a minute to go. A good ball movement to try to avoid it. Brought inside, playing a game of keep away. And there's the foul. They finally do it on Bino. They'll bring him, or won't we bring him to the line yet? They're not in the bonus, I think.
That's why you need to foul.
Exactly, you got to foul a little
earlier.
earlier.
In the bonus, right. You let about, 12, 13 seconds go off the clock here.
And that is crucial time this late in the game. They'll bring it all the way back. Bino, this time he's fouled. Should be about 49:50 to go. The clock, I think, ran for an extra second.
So you want to be able to take your chances at the free throw line because you have to shorten the game up right now, like stopping the clock, because you need the clock to score. Got a foul, but Tremaine Elite doing a great job as a
Good
keeper
pass
winner.
all the way up. And not only were they able to keep away from the foul, they've extended their lead to 7. The 5-0-2 Elite get it back. Out in the corner, not open.
Got to get something up. Yates.
They do. Time running low, under 30 seconds. The shot is off target.
Got a foul.
And now they'll foul. But that may be what Tremaine Elite needed to just hold on. The free throws coming up will be crucial.
It's tough here, and to come all the way to the finals if you're the 5-0-2, and they're still not in the bonus. And this year, that's something that you're going to see in high school basketball. They're going to 5 fouls in each quarter. We're not playing that way yet here. It's 7. But every quarter, you're going to have to go at 5 before you get into the bonus, and it won't be a 1-and-1. It'll be 2-shot fouls. That's a change in the rules this year for high school basketball by the National High School Federation.
They finally get the foul off that time. It was Austin Schmidt who's in here with 18 seconds to go.
And
And
Schmidt,
this time they'll get him to the line.
yeah, Schmidt is known for his three-point shooting. He's had a very effective tournament this week shooting the basketball, but we take a look at Bino, who did not convert on the first part of that one-on-one. Got to get something up, though.
Here's for 3. 5-0-2 Elite. They can't get it. A good rebound by Thompson.
That may be number 20 for
And very
Roquel
well.
Johnson.
And what a game he's had with
Oh,
7.6 to go. But is that going to be enough? I just don't think so.
I mean, right now, if you got to foul right away, take your chances at the free throw line. But that young man, Roquel Johnson, has played a well of a basketball game. And he's played like that, Taylor, all week long. I've watched him go up against bigger opponents, and he's up against a huge team in Tremaine Elite. But Tremaine Elite just a little more talented top to bottom, and their length just bothered them.
And we mentioned early on, it's going to come down to the depth. And indeed, it has the Tremaine Elite being able to stay with just a little more energy and a little more gas in the tank. And with 7.6 seconds, this will be a crucial inbound coming up. If the 5-0-2 Elite can't get a quick steal and bucket, they'll be in trouble.
But if you get a steal, line it up for that 3. You can knock down that 3, be 58 to 60.
And then
Get another, hey, maybe
Yeah,
another
one
steal
little chance.
or another foul, send them to the free throw line and hope that they miss. You know, it's a long shot, but we've seen a lot of things in this basketball game, so in basketball in general, but you can't let that happen.
all the way up, Tremaine Elite hold on to it.
Yep, there's the
And
foul
that is
there.
probably enough if Grayson Jones can convert the free throws at the line. A well-worked play, and the pass was just long enough to get over the 5-0-2 defense, who, for obvious reasons, they're playing short to make sure they can stay in front of their men.
Yeah. A good design play by Cardona, bringing everybody for the Tremaine Elite in the front court.
And they miss it. 3 seconds left. And despite this 3, there's not going to be enough time. Tremaine Elite are the 14U champions.
Wow, just a gutty performance by the 5-0-2 Elite, but the more talented and the bigger basketball club, Tremaine Elite, comes away with the victory for the 14U 8th grade World AAU Championships.
A pretty strong second half was able to give them the slight edge in what was a fantastic game. And as we mentioned, despite being undersized, the 5-0-2 Elite gave it their all. Incredible performances across the board. Cooper Yates doing a great job, and we saw Johnson an incredible job as well. But the Tremaine Elite side just hold on to take the 14U crown. I mean,
You
man,
gotta
that
take
was
a
just sometimes you do. You have to take a breath after an exciting game like that. And sure, the finish, it was a little quieter, but that was just Tremaine being able to get in position to shut the door and take the victory. But I think, as I say this, do you agree with me that I think the player of the game, Roquel Johnson?
Roquel Johnson, man, that young man, he had to have been close to a triple-double. I know he had a double-double because he scored a double figures in rebounding, close maybe 20 rebounds and points. Gutty performance by that team, and it just came up a little short. Tremaine Elite, such a talented team. And you hear that name, Tremaine Elite. I mean, Tremaine, who is that? Obviously, University of Florida graduate, was drafted in the NBA. That's his team. They're more in that Gainesville area. But 5-0-2 Elite from Kentucky, they came in to play basketball, and they got to the championship, couldn't quite finish it off. You got to give credit to Trayman Elite.
Yep, they gave us a show, and here are the highlights from that exciting matchup. And oh boy, it was fun from the tip-off. This quick play set the tone from the 502 Elite, and they also shot a few threes from early too.
Well, Cooper Yates was the catalyst early on, scoring inside and outside. You see it right there. They knew that they had to play from ahead and not from behind Taylor.
Yep.
But then, of course, you know, Trayman Elite, the bigger, the more talented team started pushing the basketball up the floor, and that size just paid off, and you see it here, throwing the ball ahead. Just the bigger and the better basketball club.
For sure. And do you have any final comments and any sort of wishes for these players as they move on with their basketball careers?
As I often say, champions perform in the winter and the fall, but they're made in the summer. Congratulations to both teams, Trayman Elite champions. Give credit to 502 Elite from Kentucky as well.
And for sure. And make sure you stick around or at least rejoin us at 4:45. The Delaware Certified Hoopers take on the Ohio Rebels at the U14 Championship. Taylor Storthy, Greg Turner, thanks again for tuning in.